Hi, I'm Melrose with Chic.tv, your lifestyle video magazine. We're here at the New York International Auto Show at the Aston Martin booth. Let's take a look at a few of their cars. We're talking about the Vantage?
The new V8 Vantage Roadster, yes, which is the convertible version of the V8 Vantage coupe that I'm sure you're well familiar with.
It's a beautiful car.
It is, yes. We launched it in Los Angeles at the back end of last year, and we've been inundated with orders, as you can imagine. It's a car that's absolutely designed for this country, and in particular California and Florida. Prices start around about $126,000. It's powered by a V8 engine, an Aston Martin V8 engine. As you can see, it's a hand-built car. All the interior is leather, all hand-stitched and hand-trimmed. We only make very small numbers of cars, so it's extremely exclusive. And of course, being exclusive means it's very chic as well. In fact, the brand is probably the most chic brand in the world, although I say it myself.
I concur. And so this car, I love the handles actually on Aston Martins. They're so cool. You just push them in, pull them out. Gorgeous.
So it's nice and aerodynamic and very simple and elegant solution.
This is my new car that Chic.tv bought for me because I'm such a good employee. So, all right, how many of these cars, if I want to buy one, how many other people are going to be driving this car?
Oh, you'd be talking, I would think, probably in the hundreds rather than the thousands. So you'll never see one on every street corner. There'll always be exclusive cars, but you know, it's getting the balance right between being so exclusive that you're invisible to being exclusive and chic.
And Aston Martins are all handmade.
All our cars are hand-built.
Hand-built, yes.
They're all hand-built in our facilities in the UK. The main plant is in the Midlands, a little place called Gaydon near Warwickshire, which is a very historic area. We have a custom plant there where we build the DB9, the V8 Vantage, and of course the forthcoming new James Bond car, the DBS.
The James Bond DBS, which is coming out later this year. Who better to drive a chic car than James Bond?
Well, nobody really. I think James Bond
the only
was
one.
In fact, I'm not sure whether Aston Martin made James Bond famous or whether it was the other way around, but certainly with Goldfinger back in the 60s, Sean Connery was the original James Bond, and he drove an Aston Martin DB5 in that film. And then ever since, it's been the choice of James Bond since then.
Shall we go over these new paddle shifters, because these are awesome?
Well, the car comes with either a conventional stick shift manual, 6-speed, or you can specify as an option this automated manual transmission. So it's a manual transmission, but you operate the gear changing by using these Formula One style paddle shifters, which are mounted on the steering column. Where you've got a plus, you go up the gears. Where you have the minus, you go down the gears. And it's as simple as that. It's got an added mode here that you can actually put it into automatic, so you don't even have to use the paddle shifters. If you're in traffic or if you simply, want to have a nice, easy ride, you can use it in a regular automatic mode. But it is a manual transmission. It isn't like a regular auto. So you need to just adjust slightly your driving style, etc. But it's fantastic in terms of its performance of the gears. It's much quicker than a conventional manual. It changes gear shift in something around 200 milliseconds, which is far quicker than you can do manually. You've always got your hands on the wheel, so it's safer, and it's just so engaging and so exciting to drive.
You don't have to deal with the clutch.
And you don't have to deal with a clutch.
Thank God. This is so chic. I just wanted to point out how you actually start the car. There's this beautiful, I love the Aston Martin logo, and you just...
This is glass. This is actually a
gorgeous
glass start button. And essentially you turn the key and press the start button, and the engine fires up into life. And then essentially all you do is one tug on the paddle like that, and away you go. It couldn't be simpler.
Could not be simpler.
It's very intuitive. This is your control here. D, N for neutral, reverse. This is a comfort mode.
They have a comfort mode. That's quite chic.
Yes. That changes gears a little more leisurely, so you don't have to, have kind of racing changes the whole time. And you've got a full audio system here with CD. Satellite navigation is in this area here, so when you actually press the button, this cover motors up, and your screen is here, right in effectively horizontal to your, or parallel rather, with your line of vision. So you never have to take your eyes off the road to look down here, which is where a lot of screens are mounted. It's always up here in your line of vision. So you're just looking across from the road rather than looking down. So it's much safer here and more ergonomic.
Yes, that's important. So this is a V8.
It's a 4.2 litre V8, develops 380 brake horsepower, which gives it a maximum speed around about 175 miles an hour. But of course we wouldn't advocate speeding. We're saying that the car is capable of doing that, but it's very quick through the gears, very quick through the corners, and as we like to think, it's the getting there that's the important thing with this car, rather than, you know, outright maximum speed. So we'd like to think you put the hood down on this, put it into first gear with a paddle shifter and drive off into the sunset, and you're in a fantastic car on a beautiful day, and enjoying the experience.
So here we are with the DB9 Coupe, Aston Martin. This is a V12. Let's take a look at this beautiful engine. Whew, that's the beauty.
Yeah, this is the Aston Martin V12. It's 6 litres, hand-built by Aston Martin. It's a unique engine to Aston Martin. Develops 450 horsepower, which in this car will give you a maximum speed around about 195 miles an hour, which
that's really fast.
I wouldn't advocate.
Okay, here we are in the interior of the DB9 Coupe.
All the materials, we try and be as honest as we can with them. So if it looks like metal, it should be metal. We try not to make parts out of plastic and then make them look like metal. So this here is called piano black. It's a black lacquer that you would find on a grand piano, and it's actually a wood veneer, and it works very well with these real metal parts here. This is a glass starter button. We could have made this out of plastic. It would have been very easy to do that, but we thought that it would be much nicer to have a proper glass starter button for the car, for such a car.
Okay, so this is a conventional stick-shift manual, so it's designed a bit different in the interior.
It is. This is actually the standard mode of transmission. You can get what we call Touchtronic automatic, which is a paddle shift version of an automatic transmission as an option. But in this particular car, we wanted to show it with the standard 6-speed stick shift. This
is clearly a car that you're going to feel when you're driving. And so, what are the safety features put into this vehicle?
What is integral to this car, however, is an extremely rigid and well-designed chassis for the car, if you like. The structure of the car is immensely strong. It's all aluminium. Obviously we have in the doors, we have crash beams, we have airbags, both in the steering wheel and the front area here. We have side airbags as well. So, you know, the car meets and exceeds all safety requirements for all countries around the world, and it's a very safe car for sure.
And am I looking at 2 seats back here?
Well, they're two small seats. The car is actually officially a 2+2. We don't make sedans, we make sports cars, and some of our customers have got small children and would like to take them with them. So like a lot of sports cars of this type, with 2+2 seating, they are 2 occasional seats. You can carry an adult here, but we would recommend it just for short distances. But primarily they're designed for small children to be accommodated.
Very cool, thank you so much.
My pleasure.